Our first guest tonight is the host of the Emmy and Peabody winning Last Week Tonight on HBO. Welcome back to the show, John Oliver, everybody.
Hello.
There
Hello.
you are.
Hello, Seth. Hello, everybody. Hello, Seth. Hello, Magical Mystery Door.
I continue to be so jealous of a choice you made early on, which was to do your show in just front of a white background.
That's right. That's right. Don't let people into your life. And also, I am willing to bet a great deal of money that flower arrangement is not of your choosing. That has your wife's style written all over it.
This is day one of the flower arrangement. It took her, to her credit, it took her a full 2 weeks to watch anything that we had done on the television show.
That sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah, and so as she was aghast 2 weeks
Yep.
into our remote shows to see how poorly dressed the set was.
That's right. That's right. How you look, how you're making your house look collectively. Yeah, that's why I just go with blank. You can't argue with nothing.
No, and was it born out of necessity or choice?
Well, first we were the week that everyone started closing, we ended up in a studio in Hoboken, and we just did it in front of a white backdrop because our studio in New York was full of coronavirus. So we were in front of a white backdrop then anyway, so we thought we'd just continue with this. But it's,
so you've done. You did your third remote show last night.
Yeah.
How has it been for you guys getting the show up and running?
I guess it is only 3, right? Yeah. When you say 3, it sounds like such a small number. It's been all right. You know, it's nice to be able to see my staff, albeit visually or remotely. It's not easy. I'm not technically gifted. So there is a very real chance that we're going to have 1 week where we get through the whole thing. I send the file and they say, there's nothing here. And I say, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I think we're all surprised it's taken this long for that to happen.
Well, 3 out of 3 is very impressive start.
That's right, that's a hat trick.
Yeah, you bet 100, bet 1,000. You were on a show a month ago when there was 1 case in New York City. And obviously there was a controlled panic.
When there was 1 recorded case in New York City. That's right. True. I think in hindsight, it seems there were probably, I don't want to say, between 1,000 and 5,000 cases in New York at that point. Yeah.
It's an interesting idea, the 1 recorded, because I think a lot of people react to, oh, it's only 1, but obviously you were correct in assuming that it was probably closer to 5,000.
It's been amazing to see. I remember Ron DeSantis last week saying, listen, there's no point in us having stay-at-home orders in Florida because we have counties with no cases. No, you don't. No, you don't, Ron. You don't have counties with no cases. You just don't. We don't have enough tests. I promise you, you don't have that. I would love it if that were the case, but it isn't, Ron. It isn't.
How is your panic level these days? How are you doing?
I guess give me a scale to judge that on.
Well, let's say Trump not panicked at all is Trump gets blown out in the election. Most panic is he serves 4 terms.
Okay, I am. That's the scale. I want to say about here.
Okay, gotcha.
3.5 terms.
3.5 terms.
Yeah, that's right.
It must be your wife, a former Army combat medic.
Yeah.
So I would assume things like protective gear. She has a hit close to home. How has this in your home been discussed? The just stunning lack of gear for those on the front lines.
I guess first it's disgusting, and then I guess what's even sadder is it's almost predictable because this is how we fought wars in the past. My wife went to war with ludicrously poor equipment. I went to Afghanistan in 2013, and we were doing the USO tour, and I took my wife with me, and there was a medic's van on base, and she said, "Oh, that's mine. That's the one that we used to drive around in." And they said, "Oh yeah, we're not allowed to drive that on base now. We just don't know how to get rid of this." That they couldn't drive it around to go get food because it had canvas doors. My wife went to war with canvas doors. And not in 1911.
Right. Yeah, because I was going to say it.
Let me just be clear. No, age is just a number, Seth. Age is just a number. But my wife is not whatever that would be.